In a package tonight, Governor Minor enjoins youths to utilize government's economic plans for increased productivity. State government resolves boundary disputes in Okabo local government area. Funeral arrangements of former Commissioner for Women Affairs Obong Imesien released as burial holds Thursday in Etinali. Akwa United Uyo return produces favorable result, gets maximum point. Stay tuned for details of these and other reports in a moment. Hello, good evening and welcome. My name is Mercy Ikere. Akwa Ibom State Governor Pastor Moino has charged youths of the state to key into the administration's economic growth plans and scale up their capacity to participate at the bigger space to boost productivity. The governor gave the charge yesterday during a special Thanksgiving service held by the Ikot Senatorial District Youth Leaders and Stakeholders Forum at the Redeemed Christian Church of God, 5 Queen Street, Ikot. The report.
The youth leaders thanked God for Governor Rumoino's victories in both the gubernatorial election and subsequent legal challenges and for his administration's impressive achievements since taking office. Commending youths of Ikot Senatorial District for their support before, during and after the general elections, Governor Rumoino urged them to look beyond politics and take active roles in his administration's economic policies to boost productivity. Represented by the Dean of Commissioners and Commissioner for Youth and Sports Development, Samonde Uko, the governor thanked the youth leaders for their faith in God, sued support for their rights agenda, and restated his commitment to delivering dividends of democracy.
I want to use this opportunity to pray for the youth leaders, that God will protect them, that God will guide them, that God will make them a shining example for others. I will continue to pray for leadership. Because if leaders don't do well, we cannot also speak well. Things are very difficult in the country. Our dear governor is doing a lot. Recently, we heard of the law passed, bulk purchase, where the government is trying to buy food stuff and then bring the price down to the public. That is a very laudable idea that the government of our Akwa is doing.
Addressing the gathering, the convener, Prince Akpanikum, noted that the event was necessary to return glory to the Almighty God for finding Pastor Rumoino worthy of the people's mandate. He restated the resolve of the youths of the district to sustain their support for their rights agenda.
Thank God for His Excellency, the Governor. Our senatorial district is a very different senatorial district from any other senatorial district. A very different. And sincerely speaking, even the church would have been ashamed today if an architect had been a governor, a lawyer had been involved, a banker had been involved, then a pastor, today we came and right. For His Excellency, Pastor or Pastor.
Various leaders, including the member representing a Sinodom State constituency, Prince Ukbong Akpabio, Senior Special Assistant to the Governor on Youth Matters, Mr. Iniakpan, used the opportunity to enumerate the Governor's achievements.
First, I want to thank the leadership of the youth for putting up this service. God took us through, the process, and then today we are leaders. We have our own right. We have every reason to come here to thank God.
To thank the youth leaders of Ikot Senatorial District for this wonderful gathering, because there's nothing as good as youth knowing God. Everything starts from God and ends with God. So I want to say thank you. Your Excellency, thank you for giving us this wonderful crops of youth.
I stand today to check. Why did you get you I got to just one person. Why would you get? I got to wait there. But 20 minutes, they can come.
The service on the theme "Our Generation Arises with Thanksgiving" featured song ministration and prayers for the governor, as well as government and people of Akwa Ibom State.
The state government has resolved the age-long boundary dispute between Amamong and Okobede communities in Okobo local government area. A peace accord was formalized with the planting of trees to delineate the two hitherto warring communities. Michael Brown covered the peace initiative for AKBC News. The report is presented here in our studios.
Representing the Deputy Governor, Senator Okune Yarinyi, at the ceremony, Special Assistant to the Governor on Boundary Matters, Elder Kokonofi, commended the Transition Committee Chairman, Engineer George Henshaw, for working tirelessly to ensure that the age-long conflict between the two communities has been put to an end. She emphasized Pastor Moino's commitment to developing rural areas, adding that this cannot be achieved where there is no peace and tranquility. The Deputy Governor thanked the Peace Committee for its proactive steps and selflessness in settling the dispute amicably and prayed the settlement to be permanent. While responding to the appeal by former Speaker of the Akwa Ibom State House of Assembly, Chief Peter Linus Umo, for the road to be tarred in order for more development to take off in the area, Senator Yarinyi assured the reconciled communities of the governor's interest in their welfare.
So for amendment and it's ready to sit together, to agree to sit together. I want to thank you very much because I'm a good you are very my friend. Because when you know, any day you will tell me, I reach in this stage. Now that this settlement has come, I pray that it will be permanent.
In his remarks, the chairman of Okobo Local Government Transition Committee, Engineer George Henshaw, thanked God for making the peace settlement a reality. Engineer Henshaw described Pastor Moino as a man of peace and applauded him for his leadership roles in maintaining peace in the state in line with his Arise agenda. He thanked the Deputy Governor for being part of the peace deal as well as the Peace Accord Committee for his initiative in settling the disputes.
Let me respectfully thank Our Excellency for being here to seal this peace accord. Because in November, I mean, it's very short, so no man like forever. Amen. Generation upon generation, and we do because but can never be afforded.
Also speaking, the paramount ruler of Okobo local government, Obonita Okokon, who doubles as the chairman, Peace Committee, thanked the state government for sending a representative to witness the event, assuring that traditionally there will be no dispute again between the two communities.
And we are very happy for this we have achieved today. The both Okobo community and Amami, they have agreed on the Peace Committee setup.
Earlier, representatives of village heads in Amamong and Okobede community, Chief Joseph Eded and Chief Remisius Anso, pledged to ensure that peace is restored to the two communities, since it is impossible for development to thrive during war.
An Uyo-based journalist, Comrade Idiong, has been sworn in as the president of the Postgraduate Students Union of the University of Uyo. Comrade Idiong, a PhD candidate of business and organizational communication, is the third female to be sworn in as president of the union. She was inaugurated alongside other elected members at a ceremony in the former Senate Council chambers of the University of Uyo Town campus. Edom Sai reports.
Others inaugurated include Daniel Udo, Vice President, Edidion Mpoikot, Secretary, Aniebe Jeremiah, Assistant Secretary, Udwood Willie, Assistant General Secretary, Isaac Effium, Treasurer, Iniobong Owem, Director of Academics and Research, Fabian, Director of Women Affairs, Pius Eche, Director of Sports and Socials, Fabian Ugwaje, Auditor, Akanimo Otang, Director of Information, and David Ekpobio, Director of Welfare. In her inaugural speech, Comrade Dion, a mass communication graduate from the Akwa Ibom State Polytechnic, promised to raise the bar of leadership in Postgraduate Students' Union and promote the interests and welfare of members. She expressed gratitude to the Dean, School of Postgraduate Studies, Professor Basi Antia, and postgraduate students for the confidence reposed in her, promising not to disappoint them. The Postgraduate Students' Union President promised to run a responsible, responsive, and intellectually oriented association and build upon the legacies of her predecessors.
I sincerely thank each and every one of you for believing in me and supporting me all the way through. Your confidence in me is encouraging and motivating. I pledge to put forth endless effort to represent the needs of a diverse students' union.
In his farewell speech, the outgone President, Comrade Didion Ochibong, described his tenure as a remarkable journey, thanking members for their support.
Together we have demonstrated the power of collaboration and the impact that a dedicated group of individuals can have on the society. As I pass the torch to my successor, I am filled with optimism for the future of our postgraduate community.
The Dean, School of Postgraduate Studies, Professor Basi Antia, urged the students to assist in solving state, local, and national issues with their research.
Every country looks up to the universities, especially the postgraduate program, the way it is run to solve problems of that country.
In a congratulatory message, the Dean, School of Communication and Media Studies, Professor Peter Isu, tasked the new Postgraduate Students' Union executive on teamwork and inclusiveness.
Achieve for your colleagues. In our time, we achieve for our colleagues. Most of the things you are seeing are the result of what we fought for. We used to get grants for graduate students.
Also speaking, the Dean of Student Affairs, Professor Tefia Kanem, expressed confidence in the capacity of the new executive to deliver on their mandate and pledged support to them. The inauguration was witnessed by stakeholders, including the representative of the Commissioner for Education, Mrs. Idan Osele-Tiebet, Personal Assistant to Governor on Student Affairs, Comrade Wisdom Emmanuel, State Chairman, Nigeria Union of Journalists, Comrade Amos Etuk, the State President, Nigerian Union of Local Government Employees, NOLGE, Mrs. Anesinewe, and the Chairman, Nigerian Institute of Public Relations, Comrade Manasseh Omoite.
Former Women Affairs and Social Welfare Commissioner Obong Emesin goes home Thursday. Akwa United regains winning spirit with return to Uyo, defeats Eyimba 3-1. These are some of the stories we have in the next lap of the news, which comes up after this time out this day. Funeral arrangements of a former Commissioner for Women Affairs and Social Welfare and a one-time State Director of the National Youth Service Corps, Obong Emesin, have been released by her family. Obong Emesin was a deaconess of
according to our program
and died January 2nd this year at the age of 87. Justice Udosora brings you details.
According to a program of activities released by her family and signed by her husband, the secretary to the state government in the first civilian administration in Akwa Ibom, and one-time deputy vice chancellor, University of Uyo, Professor Etienne Essien, February 26 to March 4 had been designated for condolence visits to the bereaved family. The remains of the former State Executive Council member will pass through Ikorodobia 89 before lying in state at a family compound 19 Stadium Road, 18 Town on Thursday, 7th March between 9 and 9:30 a.m. The body of Obong Eme Essien will be taken to 18 local government secretariat grounds at 10 a.m. for a funeral service to be conducted by Kwaibu Church, John Keck Square, 18 Town. Her remains will later be interred at a family compound 19 Stadium Road, 18 Town. The late Obong Eme Etienne Essien was a certificated nurse in 1960 from the School of Nursing, University College Hospital, Ibadan, and later upgraded in 1964 in England with the Central Midwives Board Certificate and a registered sick children's nurse qualification in 1971. In furtherance of her medical career, Deaconess Eme Essien obtained a master's degree in clinical epidemiology and biostatistics in Canada in 1980, an MPhil degree in medical sociology, University of Lagos in 1988. Her nursing career took her across many hospitals in Nigeria, UK, and Canada, where she also lectured and supervised clinical students until she took up appointment with the National Youth Service Corps and rose to the position of State Director between 1992 and 1997. She was later called upon to serve her state by the Obong Victor Tar administration as Commissioner, Women Affairs and Social Welfare, where she integrated grassroots women into the programs of government and inspired them to be productive, a vision she carried even as deaconess of Kwaibu Church among members and the widows. She is survived by her husband, Professor Etienne Essien, a professor of pharmaceutical and medicinal chemistry of international reckoning, children, grandchildren, in-laws, siblings, and a host of relatives, whom include Very Reverend Imo Emmanuel, a doctor of pharmacy and a doctor of pharmacology, Professor Emmanuel Odo, and Deaconess Ime Eseme Essien, Honorary Special Advisor to the Governor on Humanitarian Affairs. Justice Udosoro, AKBC News.
And in sports, football fans of Akwa United Football Club are pleased with the return of their team to the nest of champions, as they believe it is their venue for victory. This belief was proven today as Akwa United defeated Eimba of Aba 3-1 in a Week 23 encounter at the Nest of Champions. Akwa United's David Phillip opened scoring in the 7th minute, with Suleiman Sani doubling the lead in the 51st minute. Eimba's Chijoke Mbaoma reduced the deficit in the 75th minute, while Akwa's Suleiman Sani got his brace in 90 plus 5 minutes to give Akwa a well-deserved 3-1 victory. In other matches, Kano Pillars lost 0-1 at home to Abia Warriors, while Duma United played a scoreless draw while supporting Lagos. Yesterday, Sunshine Stars held his Heartland to a 1-1 draw, while it was a 2-0 victories for Lobby and Plateau United over Katsina United and Bendel Insurance. Enugu Rangers traveled to Mina to defeat his Niger Tornadoes 2-0. Akwa United now has 24 points, with goal difference separating it from 24 points Niger Tornado in the relegation zone. And on that cheery note, we conclude our package tonight. But just before we go, another look at some of our top stories. We have told you that Governor Moino has urged youths of the state to key into his administration's growth plans in order to boost their productivity. He was speaking during a Thanksgiving service by Ikorebene Senatorial District leaders and stakeholders forum held at Ikorebene yesterday. police has returned to disputing Amamo and Ukobidi communities in Okobo over land, as the State Boundary Committee has delineated them favorably. Deputy Governor Senator Akoni assured them of tarring the road bordering both communities. Former NYSC Director and Commissioner for Women Affairs and Social Welfare Obong Emesien will be buried Thursday in Etinan. A program of activities made public indicates that Obong Emesien died at 87 years. We also told you that Akwa United's return to Nest of Champions produced victory to the Promise Keepers, which has eluded the side in recent games. They defeated Enyimba 3-1 to stay 17th on the league table. That's a package tonight. Thanks for your time. My name is Mercy Ekere, and here's wishing you a good night's rest.